Ladies and gentlemen, jealousy, when left unchecked, can be a powerful and destructive force. It's something we've all encountered in one form or another, yet we often fail to recognize it for what it truly is. So today, let's talk about the signs, the clear indicators that someone may be harboring deep jealousy toward you. Understanding these signs doesn't just protect you, it equips you to handle difficult situations with clarity and purpose. When someone is extremely jealous of you, their criticism is relentless. It's not about constructive feedback, it's about undermining you, belittling your achievements, and finding faults where none exist. These people don't want to see you succeed, they want to bring you down to their level. And often, their criticism is cloaked in the guise of help, making it even harder to recognize. Have you ever noticed how some people will praise you one moment and then tear you down the next? That's the hallmark of someone who is secretly jealous. They may offer compliments, but it's never without a catch. The praise is hollow, backhanded, or followed by a comment that diminishes the value of your accomplishments. This inconsistency is a key sign. They may not want to admit it, but deep down, they feel threatened by your success. Jealousy often shows itself in an almost obsessive curiosity about your life. A jealous person will frequently ask probing questions about your personal affairs, your relationships, or your professional endeavors. It's as if they're trying to gather ammunition or compare their own life to yours. This isn't innocent curiosity, this is an attempt to feel in control or superior in some way. In the most overt forms, jealousy can lead to actions designed to sabotage your efforts. It's not always obvious at first, but a jealous person may subtly set you up for failure. They may talk over your ideas, minimize your contributions, or lead you down a path that doesn't align with your goals. When someone doesn't want to see you rise, they will do whatever they can passively or actively to stop you. A truly jealous person will fail to support you during your successes. When you achieve something significant, whether it's a promotion, a personal milestone, or a creative breakthrough, they may act indifferent, even distant. It's as if your success serves as a reminder of their own perceived shortcomings. Instead of celebrating with you, they subtly distance themselves, and sometimes they even minimize your achievement to make it seem less important. Jealous individuals often adopt the role of the victim. They complain about their own misfortunes, creating a narrative of unfairness or injustice in their life. This is a tactic to shift focus away from your accomplishments and make themselves the center of attention. They may fabricate drama or focus on trivial setbacks, all to divert attention from your successes and make themselves seem deserving of empathy. Jealousy doesn't always shout from the rooftops. Sometimes it manifests in quiet, invisible ways. There's a silent competition that exists beneath the surface. They may never directly challenge you, but they're always measuring their success against yours. And when you succeed, they withdraw or show signs of discomfort. It's a competition you may not even be aware of, but they're constantly aware of yours, silently striving to prove themselves better. Lastly, and often most painfully, jealousy can show itself in passive-aggressive behavior. The jealous person may say something hurtful in a disguised manner, or they might withhold support at crucial moments. This indirect hostility is designed to make you feel uncomfortable, to leave you questioning your worth or your choices. It's an emotional manipulation tactic, meant to undermine your confidence without confronting you head-on. The key to understanding jealousy is recognizing that it's not about you, it's about the insecurities and fears of the other person. Jealousy thrives on comparison and self-doubt. It emerges when someone feels threatened by your success, your happiness, or the life you've built. And it doesn't always make a loud entrance. It often wears the mask of friendship, support, or indifference. So what can you do? First, be aware. Don't let the signs slip by unnoticed. Second, maintain your focus on your own path. Your success is yours to own, and you don't need to shrink to make others feel better about their limitations. And lastly, be compassionate. Understand that jealousy is often rooted in deep insecurity. But don't mistake compassion for weakness. Protect yourself, stay true to your values, and continue moving forward with confidence, knowing that your success is the result of your own efforts, not the reflection of someone else's jealousy. Jealousy is a complex emotion that often manifests itself in ways we may not immediately recognize. One of the most prominent signs that someone is jealous of you is their tendency to engage in excessive criticism. This behavior goes beyond normal constructive feedback. It's an insidious, ongoing effort to diminish your achievements, invalidate your feelings, and make you question your worth. A jealous person will take every opportunity to criticize, even in situations where there's nothing to criticize. It's as if their primary goal is to chip away at your confidence, ensuring that you never feel secure in your success or abilities. At its core, excessive criticism stems from insecurity. When someone is jealous, they perceive your success or happiness as a reflection of their own shortcomings. Rather than seeing your achievements as something to be celebrated, they see them as a threat. They may not even consciously recognize this, but subconsciously they are calculating how your success highlights what they feel is lacking in their own life. This leads them to respond with hostility, which often takes the form of sharp, unnecessary critique. The criticism from a jealous person may seem subtle at first, disguised under the guise of helpful advice or concern. For example, they might say things like, "Are you sure that's the best way to do it?" Or, "You could have done this differently." On the surface, these comments may seem harmless, but they are designed to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They are questioning your judgment and subtly implying that your efforts are inferior. The more successful you become, the more frequent these kinds of remarks will be. The jealous person might feel the need to highlight your mistakes, no matter how insignificant, in an attempt to diminish the shine of your achievements. But the criticism doesn't stop at just your actions or decisions. It often turns personal. A jealous individual will focus on aspects of your character, appearance, or personality that make them feel inadequate. They might criticize your confidence, your ability to take risks, or even the way you carry yourself. They see your strength as a reminder of their own perceived weakness, and they want to knock you down a peg. They may say things like, "You always think you know better," or "You're just lucky." It's not really about skill in these moments. Their words are not about you. They are about their inability to cope with the feeling of inadequacy. This behavior is rooted in the need to control the narrative. When someone feels threatened by your success, they will try to regain a sense of power by devaluing your accomplishments. It is a desperate attempt to restore their own self-esteem, and in doing so, they project their insecurities onto you. They don't want to see you thrive because, in their eyes, your success makes them feel small. Rather than confronting these feelings, they redirect their energy into attacking you. Excessive criticism from a jealous person is not limited to face-to-face interactions. It can also manifest in indirect ways, such as behind your back. In social circles, a jealous person may speak negatively about you to others, spreading rumors or casting doubt on your abilities. This can be especially damaging because it undermines your reputation, leaving others to question your worth based on the distorted narrative being presented by the jealous individual. These whispers often lack the context and depth needed to truly understand your achievements, yet they are powerful enough to create doubt in others' minds. The goal of this constant criticism is not necessarily to make you feel bad about yourself, though that may be a secondary effect. Rather, it's about shifting the focus from their own shortcomings to yours. It's an attempt to level the playing field by making you feel as though you are not as worthy of success as you might believe. The jealous person will criticize in a way that's meant to make you question your abilities, your decisions, and ultimately your place in the world. This is their way of coping with the fear and insecurity that arises when they see someone else doing well. In essence, excessive criticism is a form of emotional manipulation, designed to weaken your self-esteem and make you feel unworthy of your accomplishments. It serves the dual purpose of protecting the jealous person from confronting their own feelings of inadequacy and subtly eroding your confidence. When you begin to recognize this pattern, it becomes easier to see through the facade and understand the true motivations behind the behavior. One of the more subtle but telling signs that someone is jealous of you is their inconsistent praise. This behavior often manifests in a way that can be difficult to decipher at first because on the surface, it may seem like they are offering compliments or recognition. However, when you look closely, you will begin to notice the underlying contradictions in their words and actions, revealing the true nature of their feelings toward your success. At the heart of inconsistent praise lies an internal conflict. The jealous person may genuinely acknowledge your accomplishments but feel threatened by them at the same time. This creates a psychological dissonance where they are compelled to praise you outwardly yet cannot fully support your achievements because doing so would mean acknowledging their own feelings of inferiority. The result is a confusing back-and-forth pattern where they praise you one moment but subtly undermine or minimize your achievements the next. For example, a jealous individual might congratulate you on a promotion or an award, only to later make comments that downplay your success. They might say, "Well, it's about time you got that promotion, but it's not like it was that hard to achieve." Or "I'm glad you got that award, but I'm sure they were just being nice." This type of praise feels empty because it's immediately followed by a dismissive remark that strips away the significance of your accomplishment. It's as if they are trying to convince themselves, and perhaps others, that your success was not truly deserved. Their praise, while seeming positive, is ultimately hollow, serving more as a way to mask their own jealousy than to genuinely celebrate your achievements. This inconsistency can be even more pronounced when they praise you in public or in front of others, but fail to show any real enthusiasm or support when it's just the two of you. In a group setting, they may shower you with compliments, perhaps to appear magnanimous or socially graceful, but when the conversation shifts to a private space, they may suddenly seem distant or indifferent. The discrepancy between their public and private behavior can feel unsettling, leaving you unsure of how they truly feel about you. This behavior often reflects a jealousy that is not openly acknowledged, a jealousy that needs to be hidden in order to maintain the illusion of friendship or support. Another common tactic is the use of backhanded compliments. A jealous person might tell you, "You look great today. Are you sure you didn't get a professional stylist to help you?" Or, "Wow, it's amazing how you're able to juggle so much. Most people would burn out, but I guess you have better stamina than others." While these statements appear to be praise, they are actually veiled criticisms. The comment about hiring a stylist subtly undermines your natural ability, suggesting that you couldn't possibly look great without external help. The remark about your stamina implies that your ability to handle responsibilities is abnormal or exceptional, which subtly isolates you from others and downplays your efforts. These kinds of remarks are designed to make you feel as if your achievements, looks, or qualities are somehow less authentic or less worthy. Inconsistent praise also tends to surface when someone feels compelled to praise you because it's the socially expected thing to do, but they cannot bring themselves to do so genuinely. They may feel the need to say something positive in public or in group settings, yet their words carry little warmth or conviction. It's almost as though they are fulfilling a social obligation, and in doing so, they keep up appearances. But when you interact with them one-on-one, they may fail to offer you the same kind of acknowledgement. Their unwillingness to offer consistent praise stems from their inability to reconcile your success with their own feelings of inadequacy. Moreover, jealous individuals may praise you in one area of life while criticizing you in another. For instance, they might compliment your career achievements but criticize your personal life or relationships. This selective praise allows them to acknowledge your success in a controlled way, but it prevents them from fully endorsing or celebrating all aspects of your life. By focusing on certain elements, they try to maintain some level of control, ensuring that they don't have to confront the full scope of your achievements. Inconsistent praise is often a defense mechanism, a way for the jealous individual to avoid confronting their feelings of inferiority. It allows them to engage with your success in a manner that keeps their own insecurities at bay. It may appear as though they are supporting you, but in reality, their mixed signals leave you questioning whether their praise is sincere or motivated by something deeper. Recognizing this behavior can help you better understand the dynamics at play and protect yourself from the emotional manipulation that often accompanies jealousy. Jealousy often manifests in subtle, often unnoticed ways, and one of the most telling signs that someone is jealous of you is their intrusive or snooping behavior. When a person is constantly trying to dig into your personal life, it is rarely just out of curiosity. It often reflects a deeper, less conscious desire to compare, control, or undermine. A jealous individual may seek out information about your relationships, your successes, or your daily routines, not because they genuinely care, but because they feel threatened or insecure about their own position in comparison to yours. At first, this behavior may appear innocent. They might ask questions like, "How's everything going with your partner?" or "What are you working on these days?" These questions, while seeming friendly or supportive, often go beyond surface-level interest. They seek to gather details, not just to engage in conversation, but to measure how their life stacks up against yours. A jealous person may be attempting to find out what you have that they lack, be it a successful career, a fulfilling relationship, or a happy social circle. This pattern of intrusive questioning is not driven by genuine curiosity. It's driven by an underlying need to assess and compare their own life to yours. The jealousy behind this behavior can be even more evident when the questions become more personal or pointed. They may ask probing questions that seem innocuous at first, but are actually designed to uncover vulnerabilities or insecurities. For instance, they might ask, "How did you get that promotion? Was it because of a connection, or did you really deserve it?" Or they might inquire about your social media posts, asking for details about a trip or event you attended. These questions are not simply seeking information, they are an attempt to find out if there is something about you that they can diminish or dismiss. If they can find a way to believe that your success is due to external factors or luck, it helps them alleviate the discomfort they feel at being outpaced by you. In addition to direct questioning, a jealous individual may resort to more covert tactics, such as checking your social media profiles, going through your public posts, or even looking for personal information about you through mutual connections. This kind of behavior shows a level of fixation that is not typical of normal, healthy relationships. The jealous person may justify it by saying they're just curious or interested in what you're up to, but in reality, their motivation is more about keeping tabs on you and making sure they know exactly what's going on in your life. They want to see what you're doing, who you're spending time with, and what you're achieving so they can measure their own progress against yours. This behavior can also extend to situations where the jealous person is constantly watching your reactions to certain events or achievements. For instance, they may want to see how you respond to compliments or praise from others. They are looking for vulnerabilities to exploit. Or they might try to catch you off guard to see if they can make you feel awkward or uncomfortable about your accomplishments. The more they know about your life, the better they can gauge where they stand in relation to you. This knowledge gives them a sense of control over the situation, even though it's based on comparison rather than genuine interest or friendship. Sometimes snooping can take on a more direct and intrusive form. A jealous person might actively invade your privacy, reading your texts, going through your emails, or even checking your personal belongings. This behavior crosses a clear boundary of respect and trust, and it's driven by the need to assert some level of dominance or control over your life. When someone is jealous, they may feel powerless in the face of your success or happiness, and by delving into your personal affairs, they seek to regain a sense of control. They might convince themselves that if they know everything about you, they can feel more secure in their own position. The more the jealous person snoops or pries into your life, the more it reveals their emotional insecurity. They feel as though they need to know everything about you in order to feel better about themselves, to reassure themselves that they are not being left behind or outdone. It's not enough for them to simply witness your success from a distance. They need to dissect it, to understand the details and dynamics that make up your achievements so they can compare them to their own. The problem with this constant need for information is that it often leads to a distorted and skewed understanding of your life, making them believe that their perception of you is more accurate than it truly is. This intrusive behavior not only stems from jealousy, but it also erodes the potential for genuine, healthy relationships. When a person is constantly trying to gather information about your life in order to compare it to their own, they are not engaging with you in an authentic way. Their interest in you is rooted in insecurity and competition, rather than friendship or support. Recognizing this behavior is important because it allows you to set boundaries and protect your privacy, which is essential for maintaining healthy relationships. When someone is extremely jealous of you, their feelings of insecurity and envy can sometimes lead them to more deliberate actions designed to undermine you or sabotage your efforts. While jealousy may begin with subtle signs such as passive-aggressive comments or inconsistency in praise at its most extreme, it can manifest in behaviors that actively hinder your progress. This type of sabotage is not always obvious at first, but over time, the actions of a jealous person will become more apparent as their true intentions are revealed. These actions can range from the seemingly innocent to the more direct and malicious, all designed to obstruct or diminish your success. One of the more insidious forms of sabotage is when a jealous person actively undermines your ideas or contributions. In group settings, they might dismiss your input or steer conversations away from topics where you might shine. They could subtly challenge your thoughts or present alternatives that are less effective or counterproductive. At times, they may try to take credit for your ideas or dilute your contributions by presenting them as their own. This is a tactic meant to erase your achievements, leaving others unaware of the hard work and insight you've invested into a project or initiative. By doing this, they attempt to shift the focus away from you and put the spotlight back on themselves. Another form of sabotage involves withholding support when you need it most. A jealous person might fail to offer assistance when you're embarking on an important project or facing a challenging task, even though they may appear to be friendly or cooperative on the surface. They may neglect to offer resources or guidance, or they may subtly discourage you from pursuing a goal. This lack of support can make it difficult for you to move forward, as you may feel isolated or uncertain about how to proceed. In other words, the jealous individual uses their position or influence to create obstacles in your path, knowing that your progress will be hindered without their support. More directly, some jealous individuals will engage in gossip or spread rumors about you to damage your reputation. They might whisper to colleagues, friends, or acquaintances, casting doubt on your competence, your integrity, or your worthiness. This type of gossip can be particularly damaging as it erodes the trust others have in you. The jealous person may try to frame their words as concern or advice, making it more difficult for you to detect their true motivations. By planting seeds of doubt, they hope to diminish the respect others have for you, thus making it easier for them to stay ahead or secure their own position. This can be especially painful because it attacks your credibility and social standing, areas where we often derive much of our self-worth. Jealous sabotage can also take the form of intentionally placing you in situations where failure is likely, or where your abilities will be tested in ways that are unfair or unreasonable. For example, a jealous individual might give you a project or assignment with impossible expectations, ensuring that you cannot succeed no matter how hard you try. Alternatively, they may set you up to look bad by withholding crucial information or resources that you need to perform your best. This type of sabotage is subtle, because it often relies on the manipulation of circumstances, but its purpose is clear: to set you up for failure and to diminish your standing in the eyes of others. The jealous person may appear to be acting in good faith, but their true goal is to see you stumble so they can reinforce their own sense of superiority. In some cases, sabotage goes beyond professional or social settings and extends into personal relationships. A jealous individual might create division between you and your close friends or loved ones, subtly undermining your bonds with others. They could try to drive a wedge between you and someone you care about by making disparaging remarks about your character or spreading misleading information. By causing rifts in your personal life, they hope to weaken your support system, making it harder for you to succeed or feel confident in your relationships. This kind of sabotage is deeply personal, as it exploits your emotional connections to serve their own need for validation. The most extreme form of sabotage involves direct interference with your goals. A jealous person might actively try to block your opportunities for advancement, whether that's in your career, your education, or any other area of life. They might spread misinformation, prevent you from being considered for important roles, or even work to discredit your accomplishments in an effort to keep you from moving forward. This kind of intentional interference can be both emotionally and professionally devastating, as it directly impacts your future opportunities. In all of these cases, the goal of the jealous person is the same: to limit your success and ensure that their own position remains secure. The sabotage may not always be dramatic, but it is always calculated and intentional. The jealous individual acts out of a need to control the narrative and maintain their own sense of importance. Recognizing these signs of sabotage is crucial, as it allows you to protect yourself and understand the true nature of the person you are dealing with. By identifying their actions and motivations, you can take steps to safeguard your goals and continue moving forward, regardless of their attempts to hold you back. A significant sign that someone is jealous of you is when they engage in constant competition or comparison. Jealousy often stems from feelings of inadequacy or fear of being outdone, and these emotions can manifest as an obsessive need to measure their own success against yours. While a little friendly competition is normal in relationships, when someone becomes fixated on comparing their achievements, looks, or lifestyle to yours, it's a clear indication that they feel threatened by your success. This type of behavior is often subtle at first. They may appear to be supportive of your accomplishments, but you'll notice how frequently they bring up their own achievements in relation to yours. For example, if you mention that you've completed a challenging project at work, they may immediately respond by saying something like, "Oh, that's great. I recently finished something similar, but it was even more difficult because..." In these instances, the conversation isn't about celebrating your success, it's about them trying to position themselves in a more favorable light. The more they compare their achievements to yours, the more it becomes clear that their intent is not to congratulate you, but to ensure that they are seen as equally, if not more, successful. The obsession with comparison doesn't end with accomplishments. It often extends to other areas of life, such as appearance, social status, or personal relationships. A jealous person might make a point to comment on your lifestyle choices, pointing out how they too have made similar decisions but have done them better or differently. For instance, if you've recently taken a vacation, they might say, "I went to that same place last year, but I stayed in a much nicer hotel." Or if you share news of a new relationship, they might bring up their own romantic life, saying, "My partner and I have been together for longer. And we've done more exciting things together." This constant need to compare reflects a deep insecurity about their own worth and an attempt to match or surpass what you've achieved. Sometimes the comparison takes on a more insidious form, where the jealous person tries to make you feel that your achievements aren't as significant as they appear. They might say, "I wouldn't consider that a real achievement, though lots of people do that." Or, "That's great, but I did that when I was younger and it wasn't a big deal." These remarks are designed to minimize your success in order to protect their own ego. The jealous individual downplays your accomplishments to make it seem like your success is either not impressive or common, thus reducing the feeling of competition. This behavior is a way of trying to restore a sense of superiority over you. As the competition escalates, the jealous person may begin to feel increasingly frustrated when they perceive that you are outperforming them. Their attempts to compete may become more blatant or even passive-aggressive. For example, they might start to subtly criticize the ways in which you achieve success, claiming that your methods are less legitimate or that your path to success is somehow easier than theirs. "You must have had help with that," or "That's a shortcut, isn't it?" These comments are an attempt to cast doubt on your abilities, suggesting that your achievements are less deserved than theirs. In this way, their competitive nature transforms into a destructive force, designed to undermine your confidence and make you feel like your accomplishments are not as valid as they appear. In more extreme cases, the jealous person may go out of their way to directly outshine you or overshadow your achievements. If you're recognized for something at work or in a social group, they might make sure to follow up with a bigger, more impressive accomplishment of their own. This could manifest in them making sure to mention their own achievements in the same conversation or taking over the spotlight during group events. The need to outdo you can become so pronounced that their behavior becomes overtly manipulative, as they try to ensure that they are always the center of attention and your successes are pushed into the background. Over time, this constant comparison can create a toxic dynamic where the jealous person feels that they are in constant competition with you. They may begin to view every conversation, every interaction, through the lens of rivalry. Even mundane exchanges can become battlegrounds for proving who has the upper hand. This competitiveness often clouds their ability to celebrate your success or engage with you in a genuinely supportive way. Instead, their actions serve as a reminder that they are always trying to stay one step ahead, and the relationship becomes one of rivalry rather than mutual respect. Ultimately, the constant comparison and competition not only signal jealousy but also reflect deep-rooted insecurity. A person who is overly focused on measuring their life against yours is often trying to fill a void in their own sense of self-worth. Their need to compete with you is less about you and more about their inability to feel secure in their own achievements or their own identity. When you notice this pattern, it's a clear sign that their jealousy is eating away at their ability to celebrate others, and in turn, is likely preventing them from finding true contentment in their own life. One of the most telling signs that someone is jealous of you is when they start behaving in a way that involves dismissing or downplaying your achievements. While others may celebrate your success with genuine admiration or encouragement, a jealous person will often respond with indifference, subtle criticism, or even overt dismissal. This behavior may seem counterintuitive at first. Why wouldn't someone want to celebrate your success? But jealousy often manifests as a defense mechanism, causing the person to react in ways that minimize your accomplishments in an attempt to protect their own sense of self-worth. A jealous individual may try to downplay your achievements in various ways. For example, if you share news about a recent success such as getting a promotion, publishing a piece of work, or completing a major project, they might simply respond with something like, "Well, that's nice, but it's not that big of a deal," or "I'm sure anyone could have done that." This response is designed to invalidate the significance of your achievement and make it seem unworthy of celebration. By minimizing your success, they seek to reduce the emotional impact of your accomplishment and restore a sense of equilibrium, where they don't feel inferior in comparison. Sometimes, this downplaying takes the form of a sarcastic or backhanded remark. A jealous person may say something like, "I'm sure you worked hard for that, but it's just because you got lucky, or I guess they just gave you that because they had to." Such comments serve to shift the focus away from your skill, effort, or dedication, and instead attribute your success to factors that are outside of your control. This helps the jealous person feel less threatened by your achievements, as they can convince themselves that your success is undeserved or incidental. In some cases, the jealous individual may avoid acknowledging your accomplishments entirely. If you're sharing good news, they might quickly change the subject or simply not respond with the enthusiasm that you expect from someone who is supposed to be supportive. This kind of silence is often a passive-aggressive way of diminishing your success, It's not as overt as criticism, but it communicates a lack of interest or recognition for what you've achieved, making you feel that your accomplishments are not worthy of attention. The more they dismiss or ignore your achievements, the clearer it becomes that their jealousy is preventing them from celebrating your success in a healthy, supportive manner. Another way a jealous person might downplay your achievements is by redirecting the focus to their own successes, particularly when yours are highlighted in a group setting. For instance, if you're praised for a recent accomplishment, they might immediately follow up with a story of their own achievement, either to steal the spotlight or to make their success seem more impressive by comparison. That's great, but I actually did something similar a few months ago, and it was way more challenging in these situations. They might not even acknowledge your accomplishment directly, but instead shift the conversation to make themselves the focal point. By doing this, they aim to ensure that your success doesn't stand out as much, as it's overshadowed by their own narrative. A more insidious form of downplaying involves undermining your achievements in front of others. If you're recognized for your hard work or a specific accomplishment, a jealous person might try to introduce doubt about the legitimacy of your success. They might say things like, "Oh, they only got that recognition because of who they know," or "I'm sure there were other factors involved that made it happen." These remarks not only diminish the value of your success, but also plant seeds of doubt in the minds of others, potentially causing others to question whether you truly deserve the praise you've received. This type of undermining can be particularly harmful, as it attacks not just your self-esteem, but also your reputation and credibility. The motivation behind dismissing or downplaying your success is rooted in the jealousy that the individual feels. They may be unable to fully process the feelings of inadequacy or resentment that arise when they see you succeeding, and so they resort to these tactics to cope with their emotional discomfort. By minimizing your achievements, they reduce the psychological threat you pose to them. They don't have to confront their own insecurities or feelings of being left behind if they can convince themselves that your success is insignificant or undeserved. Ultimately, when someone behaves in this way, it reflects their inability to genuinely celebrate the accomplishments of others. Rather than being happy for you, they see your success as a direct challenge to their own sense of worth. This inability to rejoice in the achievements of others often stems from deep insecurity, and as a result, the jealous person may push others away or isolate themselves, unable to partake in the joy and pride that should come from mutual celebration. Recognizing these behaviors can help you understand that their actions are not a reflection of your worth, but rather a projection of their own internal struggles with jealousy. One of the more glaring signs that someone is jealous of you is when they start to act in a passive-aggressive manner, subtly undermining you without directly confronting you. Jealousy often breeds a sense of resentment, and those who feel threatened by your success may not always be bold enough to express their envy openly. Instead, they resort to indirect or subtle forms of aggression designed to hurt or irritate you without overtly revealing their emotions. Passive-aggressive behavior is a coping mechanism for individuals who struggle to openly express their jealousy, and it can manifest in various ways that are often difficult to recognize at first. One common form of passive-aggressive behavior is the use of backhanded compliments. While these might seem like positive remarks on the surface, they are laced with hidden criticism or sarcasm. For example, a jealous person might say, "Wow, I can't believe you pulled that off. I didn't think you had it in you," or "You've done really well for someone who doesn't have all the right connections." These statements may initially sound like praise, but they are actually veiled attacks meant to undermine your achievements and make you feel inferior. They are crafted to appear complimentary, but the underlying message is one of disbelief or doubt about your capabilities. Jealous individuals may also engage in sabotaging behavior in a more covert manner, such as spreading rumors or gossip about you behind your back. They might plant seeds of doubt in others by subtly questioning your credibility, even though they don't overtly challenge your abilities. They might whisper things like, "Did you hear how they got that promotion? I wonder if they really deserved it, or I think they've been exaggerating their role in that project." This type of gossip is insidious because it doesn't directly confront you, but it works to undermine your reputation and credibility within a group. It plays on insecurities and uncertainties, often creating doubt without anyone being aware of the source. Sometimes passive-aggressive jealousy manifests as ignoring your needs or offering half-hearted help. For example, if you're going through a challenging situation and need support, a jealous person might offer vague or unhelpful advice. They may say things like, "Well, it's your problem, not mine," or "I'm sure you'll figure it out." But good luck with that. This behavior is meant to diminish your feelings or make you question whether others really care about your well-being. The jealous individual may not want to see you succeed or feel that you are deserving of help, so they withdraw support in a way that seems inconspicuous, but ultimately leaves you feeling unsupported. Another subtle but effective passive-aggressive tactic is the use of sarcasm, particularly when responding to your success. A jealous person might use humor as a shield to veil their bitterness. They may say something like, "Oh, sure, you're just lucky, aren't you?" Or, "Wow, what a shocker, you of all people succeeding." These remarks are meant to belittle your achievements and deflect from the hard work or talent that you put into your success. The jealousy here is disguised as humor, making it harder for you to challenge or address the underlying resentment. Additionally, a jealous person might resort to guilt tripping as a passive-aggressive maneuver. For instance, if you receive a great opportunity or recognition, they may say something like, "I can't believe you made it, but I guess some of us don't have those kinds of opportunities." Or, "It must be nice to have everything handed to you." By saying these things, they are trying to evoke a sense of guilt or discomfort in you, as though you don't deserve your success. They may even imply that you've left them behind or that they feel abandoned by your progress. The passive-aggressive nature of jealousy makes it difficult to confront because the jealous person doesn't openly admit their feelings. Instead, they choose behaviors that make it challenging for you to address the issue directly. They may claim that they were only joking or that they didn't mean anything by their comment, but the emotional impact on you is real. Recognizing these subtle tactics is important, as it helps you understand that their behavior is not a reflection of your worth, but a manifestation of their own internal struggles. The more aware you are of these signs, the better equipped you will be to set boundaries and protect yourself from the emotional toll that passive-aggressive jealousy can inflict. One of the most emotionally draining signs of jealousy is when a person consistently tries to isolate you from your support network. Jealous individuals often feel threatened by the positive relationships you have in your life, whether they are professional, personal, or social. The thought of you having strong bonds with others can exacerbate their insecurities and deepen their feelings of envy. As a result, they may attempt to create division between you and those who are important to you, undermining your connections and isolating you from your support system. One common tactic used by jealous individuals to create isolation is spreading negative or misleading information about you to others. This could involve telling others lies or half-truths about your behavior, personality, or intentions in an effort to turn them against you. For example, they might say things like, "Did you know they only got that job because they're close with the boss?" Or, "I heard they've been talking behind your back." These types of insinuations or rumors are designed to sow discord and make people question your character, even if the accusations are entirely unfounded. The goal is to create doubt in the minds of your friends, family, or colleagues, making it harder for them to trust you and diminishing the strength of your relationships. Another way jealousy manifests in attempts to isolate you is by subtly driving wedges between you and your close friends or family members. For instance, a jealous person might make disparaging comments about your loved ones, casting doubt on their loyalty or intentions. They may imply that the people you trust are not really looking out for your best interests or are somehow taking advantage of you. This can cause tension between you and those who are closest to you, as the jealous individual tries to plant seeds of mistrust. They might also play on your insecurities, telling you things like, "You deserve better than that group of friends," or "They don't really understand you like I do." Over time, their manipulative behavior can create confusion, making you question whether your support network is truly as solid as you thought. At times, jealousy can manifest in more overt attempts to directly exclude you from social events or professional opportunities. A jealous person might intentionally leave you out of gatherings, meetings, or decision-making processes, making you feel excluded or ignored. This can occur both in social settings and in the workplace, where being left out can have a significant emotional impact. They might organize events or activities with others and intentionally fail to invite you, leaving you feeling isolated or alienated. The exclusion is subtle enough that it might appear to be a simple oversight or happenstance, but when it becomes a pattern, it's clear that the jealous individual is trying to distance you from the group and diminish your sense of belonging. In more extreme cases, jealousy-driven isolation attempts may involve outright hostility toward those close to you. The jealous person may become more aggressive in their efforts to undermine your relationships, going so far as to confront your friends, family members, or colleagues directly. For example, they might accuse your loved ones of being unfair or even toxic, attempting to create a divide by playing the victim. They may claim that you are spending too much time with certain people or neglecting them, manipulating the situation to make you feel guilty for maintaining close connections with others. This tactic seeks to create an emotional rift and ultimately cause you to pull away from those who care about you. Another subtle but effective way a jealous person isolates you is by trying to make you feel guilty for relying on your support network in the first place. They may imply that you're over-dependent on others, or that you should be more self-sufficient. They might say things like, "You shouldn't need others so much," or "Why can't you just handle things on your own for once?" This kind of remark, while seemingly caring or helpful, is actually meant to convince you that seeking support is a weakness and that you should be distancing yourself from your friends or family. It's a way of isolating you by making you feel inadequate for needing others. As this behavior escalates, the jealous individual may even try to present themselves as your only true ally, offering false sympathy or understanding in an effort to draw you closer to them while pushing others away. They may position themselves as the one person who truly understands you, subtly making you feel that no one else can offer the same level of care or empathy. This tactic preys on emotional vulnerabilities, as they attempt to replace the important relationships in your life with one that is more controllable and ultimately serves their own needs. The jealousy-driven attempts to isolate you are often rooted in the jealous person's fear of losing control or status. By distancing you from your support network, they hope to regain a sense of superiority and reassert their importance in your life. Their actions are motivated by insecurity, as they feel threatened by the love, admiration, or attention that others give you. It's important to recognize these isolating behaviors, as they are not a reflection of your worth, but rather a sign of their emotional turmoil. Understanding that these actions are not personal attacks, but rather symptoms of jealousy, can help you maintain strong, healthy relationships while safeguarding your emotional well-being. In conclusion, recognizing the signs of jealousy in others is crucial for maintaining healthy, supportive relationships. Jealousy often manifests in subtle ways, such as constant comparison, passive-aggressive behavior, or undermining your achievements. The jealous person may isolate you from your support network, dismiss your success, or even try to compete with you in unhealthy ways. Understanding these behaviors allows you to set boundaries and protect your own well-being, while also recognizing that the jealousy they display stems from their own insecurities. Rather than internalizing their actions, it's important to remember that their behavior is a reflection of their emotional struggles and not a measure of your worth or success. By recognizing these signs and distancing yourself from toxic influences, you can cultivate a more positive, empowering environment for yourself. Ultimately, your success and happiness are not determined by others' envy, but by your ability to stay true to yourself, pursue your goals, and surround yourself with people who genuinely support and celebrate you.